Right then, it's Saturday night again. Hello, good evening and welcome, one and all, wherever you are, whatever it is. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knick-Knack, I'm the brains behind the Daily Teaser, and I also do a lot of movie reviews. You'll probably find those tucked behind the eye in the corner of the screen there. Hit that, that'll show you a lot of my content. As well as doing lots of mindless brain teaser quizzes and talking about movies, I talk about TV shows I've been watching. Some of it relatively modern, some of it classic. Over the past few weeks, I've been watching the classic Doctor Who story, The Evil of the Daleks. And last night I saw episode 6, and I'm going to tell you about it tonight. Episode 6 picks up from where episode 5 leaves off, showing us the Doctor, Patrick Troughton, playing trains with the childlike human factor Daleks. However, the three Daleks, dubbed Alpha, Beta and Omega by the Doctor, have to leave as they have orders to return to Skaro, the Dalek home world, leaving the Doctor and Jamie, Fraser Hines, to try and find Victoria, Deborah Waterfield, little knowing that she has also been taken to Skaro. Meanwhile, Edward Waterfield, her father, played by John Bailey, eavesdrop on a conversation Maxtable is having with a Dalek. He's keen to have the Doctor brought to Skaro. The Daleks want the Doctor to meet someone important. The Dalek also tells Maxtable something else. That box he's so keen to poke around with, the one that's bolted to the floor by the Daleks, is due to go off any minute now. Now, I've possibly done that short shift there, giving that a very swift little summary, but I hope I've covered everything. What did I make of this penultimate episode of episode 6? For a start, the big reveal is at the end of the episode of the Emperor Dalek. It's the first time we get to see the creature, and it's quite something to see in the animated version. I'd love to see the original, I really would. It's a shame these are reanimated episodes, because the original must have looked incredible in black and white as a 4:3 TV picture. There are snippets of the remaining footage left in the Telesnaps reconstruction on the box set, but it does leave you wanting to see the whole episode, not just the reconstruction, as wonderful as those reconstructions are. There's another minor detail or two that grabbed me. The actual human factor Daleks are, I think between them, Skelton and Peter Hawkins, the two Dalek voices for this episode, did one hell of a job, and they've deliberately made the Daleks, the human factor Daleks, the ones that are more human-like, sound ever so slightly un-Dalek-y and ever so slightly odd, but ever so slightly Dalek-like all at once. It's quite something to hear them. There's a whole Alpha, Beta, Omega chant the three creatures do as they basically sort of playing Ring a Roses. The Doctor dubs them Alpha, Beta, Omega, and it's something to watch. It really is quite fascinating and quite unnerving as well. There's another thing as well. About 14 minutes into the episode, we see Theodore Maxtable, played by Marius Goering, in full-on rant mode about how his home, his lab, and his work have been destroyed. And we see that brought to a stop by Daleks, again, being physically violent, literally physically pushing him around until he shuts up. The only other time I've seen Daleks being physically violent, and again it's to Theodore Maxtable, is in episode 4 of The Evil of the Daleks, where one Dalek pushes Maxtable over, quite literally knocks him over. Granted, it's Theodore Maxtable, it's the Faustian dupe of the piece, the one that's been conned into doing the Daleks' work for them, into letting them onto Earth. arguably he deserves it. But it's still not something I can remember seeing a Dalek do in any other story. It really is quite something. It just shows the point that the Daleks are what they are supposed to be. They are supposed to be nasty pieces of work that aren't scared of violence. And this episode and this story shows us that. It's the only one I know of that does that. It is quite something. And on top of that, and it's something I felt I should highlight, but on top of that, the Daleks again are very menacingly lit in this penultimate episode. Possibly far more menacingly lit than they ever were in Genesis of the Daleks, the Tom Baker story, which was a genius bit of lighting in and of itself. That is one of the Dalek stories. It's episode 6 is one hell of an episode. It really is worth watching. It's part of what makes the Evil of the Daleks well worth having remade, and very well worth mine and your watching. I have one more episode to go. I am going to be watching that on the evening of the 21st of January, next Friday, and I'm going to be having my review up by Saturday the 22nd at the latest. I'd love it if you'd join me, and I'd love it if you left a few comments either on the videos or on the written version of this blog. This is a 4-star episode of Doctor Who. I'd love to share it with you and see what you think. See you next week. See you on the 22nd. Have a very, very, very good week.